Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, they actually did it. One of the biggest moments of the year when it comes to movies has just happened with the release of the first trailer for James Gunn's Superman, a trailer that people have been waiting to see for a while now, eagerly anticipating what this movie could bring as the first one in line to a new DC universe under the leadership of James Gunn. What people did not expect was just how incredible this trailer was in what it showed us through the footage and the anticipation it is now giving us because of it. We are going to talk about that here in today's video. To all my DC and Superman fans out there watching this video, what did you think of this trailer? Did it bring you back to the time of when you saw Superman on the comic book pages and you would have thought that this is how you always had imagined it? Comment down below if this trailer gave you that feeling. Let's not waste any time and get right into it, because as someone who's been a fan of James Gunn for a while now and has been curious to see what he would do with this comic book IP, it brings me joy to see that the trailer for Superman is showing that he just gets what makes this universe so appealing, along with its characters and what the fans have been wanting to see for a while. There have been so many different interpretations and adaptations of these characters and the world of DC that we have seen now that have worked and not worked, and James Gunn's version is just the next one in line. I think that the James Gunn effect of it all has certainly brought a lot of people in, convincing them that he was the right man for the job to not just lead the studio behind the movie and any other potential projects coming in the future, but that he had their best interest at heart to really make DC what everyone has envisioned it to be since it began. I think that James Gunn is the type of person that you need to effectively craft these worlds and these characters. Not only is he a mega fan of this property and everything it holds, but he's also just not the kind of filmmaker that is going to cut corners and cheat his way through in trying to make great films and build a universe. I think his track record has proven enough that he really cares and he's not going to cheap out on the fans. His record with Marvel making Guardians of the Galaxy has proven that enough that he really does love the comic book genre, and given he is seemingly the biggest DC fan of them all, I really do believe that they got the right man to bring this forward and start something that could be truly incredible for the future. I know to some people it might sound like I'm over-exaggerating everything about him, but I'm really not. You can see the talent when it's there, and James Gunn is the talent I think that we all need right now. And I think that's a perfect way to transition to actually talking about the trailer and its footage, because what James Gunn has created through being the director of this movie really shows that he understands what this universe is about, and particularly the character of Superman. I think it is something that people have been waiting for a long time now, and you can see it in how a lot of people are reacting so far online. So many people overcome with joy at seeing how great it looks. I saw so many glimpses of what the character of Superman is really about in this trailer, and I find that so far, just based off 2 minutes and 20 seconds, David Corenswet looks like he's going to do something great with it. In the last 24 hours, I've seen a lot of complaints online from people about how James Gunn has crafted the color grading and lighting of his film to match what it seems like a lot of this universe is going to look like. People are saying that he has oversaturated the colors a little bit too much in some degree. I won't say that people are completely wrong when they say that, as there are just a few moments where you could notice that the colors do stand out quite a lot. However, I'm really not put off by that. No offense to any of the Snyder fans when it comes to recent adaptations of this universe and its characters, but I would much rather look at this kind of color grading and lighting than ever see the Snyderverse style of what he did with this universe. All the darks and the grays of those movies really just don't make it look all that appealing. I feel like the DC universe stands and represents more than just the darkness of certain storylines and how it looks on the screen. Here within this trailer, I think James Gunn is really going for the angle of hope, kindness, and looking to a world that can be much more brighter than it isn't. For me, the scene where it really showed me that angle is when Superman is getting heckled by the crowd and having a can thrown at the back of his head as he walks into this building. I think that that is potentially the scene in the movie where we see Superman finally break. He loses the care that he probably had already for humanity. We see that Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, and Hawkgirl, played by Isabela Merced, come in to probably lift him up and bring back his spirits. They will try and convince him that there is much more that humanity needs to learn to really really stand by his side. I think that is also potentially going to be a scene where Corenswet might show his acting range and express to us that he was the right fit to play this character. The trailer also featured a lot of action, much more than I was expecting it to show, featuring scenes of Superman fighting all kinds of characters. One second he looks like he's fighting the character of Mr. Terrific, one second it looks like he's going to fight some giant eyeball thing in the sky, and then another second it looks like he's fighting a straight up giant kaiju monster. DC fans watching this video, this is where you come in and help me out, because I don't know any of these characters that he's fighting against. I feel like I'm much more traversed in the world of Marvel than I am DC, and I hope that with this new iteration of the universe, I can get more integrated in knowing the lore and the world of these characters. Even with that in mind, I think the action so far, just on the few snippets that we got, looks pretty good and shot well. I can't stress enough that the way the action is shot in these movies is very important. I'm very intrigued also by all the characters in the movie. I think that James Gunn does well with casting actors to play his characters, and so far, I really like Rachel Brosnahan. She looks great as Lois Lane. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor was also a great choice. He's one of the better working actors right now, and in general, everyone else just looks really good for the part. I know some people are about to start memeing Nathan Fillion's haircut, but you never know, maybe that's not the hair that he has the entire time that he plays that character. Also, how can I not talk about my boy Crypto? I know there are some people out there that thought it wasn't the right time to bring that character in already, and also some people did comment on the fact that it's not the style of dog that it's supposed to be from the comics, but come on, man, I'm a dog guy and I love dogs, so I'm going to take this character coming in already. The last thing I want to touch on is that I really love the themes of what it feels like this trailer is portraying inside of the film. I already mentioned it, but this idea of what hope is to the character of Superman is so integral. This idea that even when humanity brings him down and doesn't trust him, there is still hope that maybe one day he can convince them that he is what they need. I think we see a little bit of that as well with his relationship in his family life to his dad. Knowing how James Gunn handles emotional storylines, I have a feeling he's going to tackle that with great importance, and I think that also outlines the themes of caring and kindness a lot as well. Very important themes that are very integral to the character of Superman, just like how hope is. I did find it interesting that the trailer didn't end with the Superman title, and I think that was a stylistic choice, but I don't think that that's a bad thing, so I digress. I think it is also important that we go and talk about some other details that have been revealed recently about the film. These details revolve around the premise and story of the film, along with some reveals as to how things might be filmed. For one, James Gunn has said that the movie is going to be much more grounded than in past adaptations. The movie takes place in a time where it is not rehashing an origin story of the character of Superman. It is set in a world where a lot of things are already established, like our hero characters and also the characters he's fighting. Lex Luthor is an example of that, where it seems like he already hates Superman. Lois and Clark already know each other because it seems like he is already Clark Kent in that disguise as he works at the Daily Planet, so we don't actually have to see him apply to the Daily Planet and get in, as he's already gotten in. It is also said that the movie is not going to be song-driven like past James Gunn films. It is going to be much more driven by the score, of which has nods to John Williams' version of Superman, which, by the way, I will say, I do love the guitar riff on the new Superman theme. I really like that this new version has themes of both John Williams and Hans Zimmer's score, even if maybe nodding more towards John Williams. James Gunn has also apparently said that this movie is not aiming to set up other projects, which I think is a really smart idea for your first movie. Just make it about Superman. Don't make it something that is meant to set up everything else about the universe. You have to let that take its time, and you have to set up the characters first before you do that. Finally, from a filmmaking perspective, the movie is trying to shoot its flying action scenes with drones that are inspired by the way a film like Top Gun Maverick was shot. I think that's an interesting idea in a way that confirms for us that it looks like he's trying to make the film look a lot more real in its style. He wants to make a lot of the environment for shooting action look real and not CGI. Obviously, a lot of the action is going to be CGI, but the way he shoots it will be very practical and authentic to looking like it actually was done in real life. That's a smart idea, and I hope it looks good when we see it in the final version. When it comes to giving my final thoughts, in general, I would say that so far the marketing campaign for this film to really get people interested is off to a good start. I really like the motion poster they revealed the other day with a tease of the actual Superman theme. It's a really good poster with a very good tagline. I'm really glad that they did not go down the road of making it overly Photoshopped with character heads sticking out and whatnot. It's a simple design that looks like it pertains to the character quite well. When you add that trailer into all of this, I think that they really needed to come out swinging, and in my opinion, I think they swung well and knocked it out of the park. I think right now, the best thing that they can do is not try too hard to show much more of the film and also give too much more away about it. I think most people have a good enough idea what the film is going to be about and how it sets up this new universe that James Gunn is trying to create. The best thing you can do right now from a marketing perspective is find ways to really get people interested without giving anything more away. Promote the comics of the brand and around the character of Superman. Really hone in on showing how much you care for all this stuff, and it'll make people care more about wanting to go see the film come July of next year. I will also say, for anyone that is worried about the film and how it doesn't look all that good to them so far based off the footage, you have to remember that the film is still a long ways away, and they are probably not fully done yet with the post-production. Many more months of getting the visual effects down and cutting the film together have to be done, and so this is not the final product of what we should expect to see. I have a feeling whenever we get that second trailer, it's going to look a lot better. But for now, I would say that so far, James Gunn and everyone working over there at DC Studios have kicked it off with an uplifting and incredible first trailer for Superman. So there you have it. That's my commentary on the first trailer for James Gunn's Superman. What do you all think? Leave your comments down below and let's have a nice and respectful conversation about it. Thank you all for stopping by my channel. If you want to see more moving forward from me with regards to film and television and you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you are new here and turn on that notification bell. I'm trying to build a community on here and your support would be greatly appreciated. That's a wrap, folks. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you all soon for the next video.